214 yards. That's what the Black Knights averaged on the ground in 2014. Paving the way was a very talented offensive line. 2 starters returned from that group in seniors Nick Wimmer and Gerald Buchanan. They will have a new position coach in Bill Butts, but head coach Mark Holcomb will still be hands-on with the guys up front.
Nick's been a 4-year player for us at different positions, and his focus is a little bit better. He's had a really good practice. He's probably only had one bad day of practice. Gerald's played a little bit as a sophomore, junior last year, so expecting a lot of good things out of those in terms of leadership. Gerald, we got to focus a little more at times. Gerald's a easy-go-lucky kid. He works hard, but at times he loses focus. But they got to understand that from a leadership standpoint, everybody's going to look at them and watch what they do. Just with all our seniors, the things we expect them to do is a little bit more intensified, I think.
Also, junior Alex Rose, who has some experience, is expected to fill one spot.
Rose started a lot of games last year, probably the last 5 games of the year, so he's got some experience in there too, and then he's gotten a lot better as far as movement. He's a big kid. He's probably 320, moves a lot better, got a little bit more nasty in him, so he's come a long way in a year.
2 first-year varsity players are expected to get a lot of starts, along with a cast who will help carry the load.
A lot of younger kids coming up from the JV, but our size is still pretty good. Same thing with Troy and those other couple guys. Brandon Gallimore is a kid who did not play last year, but has come back this year, and he just got the game's a little fast for him right now. He's got to catch up with it, being aggressive. I don't think any spots are really penciling in. We're looking at about 9 kids, and we hope to play all 9 of those kids. We really do in a game because we want them to be on close to the same level. The thing about Ty, he makes the calls. He knows where everybody's supposed to go. His job is to get the ball to the quarterback, giving up some weight, which is a problem for him. He's going to have to do technique, a little bit more technique on there. And Josh Jordan's a senior. Josh has been through the war. He was a 2-year starter for us on the JV. Had some injury bug last year a little bit for him. Lost focus a little bit last year. He's focused this year, doing really well for us. Christian Linville, I think, has had a good camp too. He's another kid that's a smaller, quicker type kid. Caleb Fogle will figure in there somewhere also. So we feel like we got depth there, and I'm a guy who, coaching those kids every day, I want to play as many kids as I can on the offensive line to keep those guys fresh.
And Coach knows the key to being successful when it comes to controlling the line.
They all got to do technique. We're watching film and we're watching steps, and I might watch film a little bit different than everybody else, but the only thing I'm looking at is the feet of the linemen to see what they do. We'll get the aggressiveness part behind. We just got to make sure we get their feet. I want their feet exactly where they're supposed to be. I want their hands where they're supposed to be. And if you get that part of it down, the rest of it is just effort. So if we can do a better job of coaching that technique part of it, the effort part of it, we can get that out of them in practice.
A year ago, North had one of the most explosive offenses in the conference, and a huge part of that was the 185 yards passing per contest the Knights accumulated. Senior Khalil Miller did a lot last year for the offense, including catching 33 passes for 623 yards and 7 touchdowns. This season, receivers coach Daniel Parker says things won't change.
6 is just a guy, if you can get him in space, he can make things happen. If he's going to be in the backfield some, we'll run those comments out there to him, or we'll put him over by himself in one-on-one coverage and let him go get the ball. That's just one of those things where, he's so athletic, he can do about anything.
A trio of juniors will also help fill the group, including Caleb Moore, who made 23 grabs last season and was huge on 3rd down a few times.
Caleb's got some experience on the varsity level. He's a guy who runs good routes, he can block, and at times he can go get the ball if he needs to. He don't mind going across the middle and running those things that we need him to do. Those 3rd and long situations, we're going to get the ball out there to our athletes and tell them to get the yard we need, and if we can't, then we'll come back to it later.
Knights fans will also see Garrett Griffith and Kenneth Dellinger.
Garrett's a guy, if you went to any JV games last year, he probably had 150 receptions and 1,500 yards. We'd run that one route, and those guys wouldn't adjust to it. And he's one of those guys we can put him outside, and he knows those plays. We can move him inside to the slot, and he's athletic enough to do that. He's a versatile guy. Kenneth's a guy, he's going to play both ways. He's going to be a defensive guy, a corner. He'll come across to us some, and if you watch the JV games, he did that last year. He can catch the ball and make some moves. So, like I said, we're just trying to get it to athletes and let them do the work.
Another player we'll see all over the field is sophomore Nigel Dalton.
Nigel's a special kid, kind of like Khalil. He's coming off that injury during basketball season, so he's a little hobbled right now, but he's coming back 100%. He's going to play on both sides of the ball as well. Again, he's one of those slot guys. We can get him the ball in space. I know it sounds like a broken record, get the guys in space and let them work, but he's one of those guys that we really look forward to having a big year.
And what is the biggest focus with the receiving corps in 2014?
Block. If we can do the blocking things we need to do, then the quarterbacks will be able to get us the ball. If we can block, then they're going to understand, defense is going to understand that's what we want to do, and then we'll run something off of it and get them a home run ball.
North and Thomasville are set to go August 22nd at Cushwa Stadium.